guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming a come thrifting with me video and sharing some of my thrifting tips with all of you guys. Thrifting is one of my favorite things to do. Honestly, whenever I'm bored, I just go to the thrift store. It's super fun, super easy, and it doesn't cost much. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into all of my thrifting tips. So my first tip is one that I feel like everyone says when they film these kind of videos, but it honestly is one of the most important things, and that is to look through everything. And when I say everything, I don't just mean like the different sections, like obviously men, women, kids. I mean look through things that aren't necessarily your size. And I think this is important to do because you never know what you can find. I personally always find really great like oversized sweaters in the larges. And even if you find something that's probably a little bit too small for you, you could always style it as a crop top or just something a little more fitted. So yeah, you definitely never know what you can find at the thrift store, so definitely look through everything. And another tip is look through the home decor stuff, because I can always find some really cool things to decorate my room with. My next tip is one that I've definitely learned my lesson from, and it is to not buy things just because of the price. A lot of times when I'm at the thrift store, I will find something that's really cool, but not necessarily something that I would typically buy, and just because that item is like $2 or $3, I'll be like, oh yeah, I totally should get this, it's so cheap, maybe I'll wear it. So the problem with this is I never really end up wearing that item, and it just kind of sits in my closet. And just because something is really cheap and maybe kind of cool doesn't necessarily mean you should buy it. Just definitely think about what you're purchasing and make sure it makes sense in your wardrobe. Just because you're at a thrift store shouldn't give you any other excuse to buy something that maybe you typically wouldn't like, if that makes sense. So yeah, just make sure you really do love what you're buying and treat it as any other purchase. Alright, my next tip is to go with someone who has a different style than you, or just go by yourself, because it can get kind of awkward if both you and your friend see something that you absolutely love and then obviously only one of you can get it because you're at a thrift store. They obviously only have one of everything. So if you're with someone who has a different fashion taste than you, then that probably won't end up happening, and obviously if you're by yourself, you can get whatever you want. Alright, tip number 4 is to always go to thrift stores if you're ever in a small town. And I know that sounds really weird and probably specific, but that is where you can find some of the best stuff. And I'm not really sure why that is, but I always have the best luck in really small towns. And I think that might be because there aren't, you know, a ton of people like looking for really cool like vintagey finds. They're just kind of there to save some money or whatever, which is totally fine. But I don't know, I always end up finding some really cool stuff in smaller towns. Actually, my all-time favorite thrift find I found in a random small town in Ohio. So definitely if you're ever in a small town, just get on your phone, search if there's a Goodwill or Salvation Army or Savers or whatever, and check that thrift store out. So those are all my thrifting tips. Now let's go ahead and go to the thrift store. So I'm now back from Goodwill, and I'm going to show you everything I got. And I actually forgot to mention in the intro of this video, but I'm going to have a little try-on / styling portion at the end, just showing you guys how I would style all of the items that I picked up today. So this first thing I got is just kind of a given. I feel like you have to get one of these every time you go thrifting, and I'm sure you've guessed it, that item is a flannel. I don't have anything or any flannels in this color scheme, so I thought it'd be really great to add to my collection, and I just love this material. It's really nice. I found this in the men's section, and it's the brand Northwest Territory, and this was $5. Alright, and the next thing I got is kind of just a basic. I also found this in the men's section. It's just a long sleeve gray t-shirt, nothing too special, and it's Reebok. It has the little Reebok symbol right here. This is a size large, and it was $5. A little overpriced, I would say, for a used t-shirt, but I will definitely get a lot of use out of this. I'm always looking for just basic t-shirts that I can wear with anything. Okay, the next thing I picked up is a turtleneck, and I found probably about 7 turtlenecks that I really liked. But this one was my favorite that I found, so I decided to just go with this one. It's just this navy blue, and it's actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's really similar to the one I'm wearing right now, but I really like it. I love the neck of it. Yeah, I'm excited to style this, and it was $6. It's a size medium, I believe. Yeah, and it's actually from the Gap, so it's pretty cool. Got it in the women's section. Okay, now this is probably my favorite item that I picked up. It is just this midi dress. It is just like this brown kind of tan color, and I just love the neckline of it. I love how it doesn't have a collar or anything, and the pockets are really cool, and then it just buttons all the way down, and like I said, it's a midi length, and it is so cute. I'm so excited about this. It's actually originally from Talbot's. Okay, and the last thing I bought is actually kind of a splurge for a thrift store. It was $30, which obviously is kind of ridiculous for a used item, but this is in such good condition, and I loved it so much I just couldn't leave it behind. So it is this Steve Madden suede coat, and it is just so lovely. It's going to be kind of hard to see since it is black, but obviously you will see it in the styling portion. So yeah, that is everything I picked up today. I'm pretty pleased with the stuff I got. I think they will work well into my wardrobe, and I'm excited to show you guys how I style them all. So let's go ahead and get into the styling portion of this video.